Hello and welcome to the Cricket Happening Show as usual with your host Ram. On this particular cricket show, I'm going to talk about the third day's play in the second test match between Australia and South Africa at Port Elizabeth, where ABD Villiers, who always, as I said yesterday, was a threat, and today he proved it today by scoring his 22nd Test century, which is coming after a gap of 3 years, and it was so refreshing that South Africa gained a lead of 139 runs with De Villiers getting support from Philander, who was compact, Keshav Maharaj, who was a bit of a slogger, and Lungi Giri also supporting him as South Africa took 139 runs lead in the first innings thanks to the ABD Villiers very crispy innings, and the Aussies towards close of play on the third day were 180 for 5, and definitely South Africa on the ascendant here, but one knows for a fact that batting is not going to be easy for the team that bat last, and that would be South Africa. But nevertheless, 41 runs in front right now, Australia, and that is the match situation as far as the third day's play is concerned. And also in the Nidahas trophy in Sri Lanka, the India, who lost to Sri Lanka in the first exchange, would be having their second exchange with Sri Lanka tomorrow in the Nidahas Trophy T20 Tri-Series, and India would definitely like to write the script here against Sri Lanka. And the other thing is that psychologically Sri Lanka would be a bit down after being beaten by Bangladesh despite posting a very high total. And also we will have a look at some other cricket news as well. But first, let's head off towards Port Elizabeth, where I'm talking to you about the third day's play in the second test match between South Africa and Australia. So South Africa resumed at the overnight score with ABD Villiers on 74 not out and Philander on 20. And ABD Villiers just started teeing off from where he left off yesterday. As yesterday he had 14 boundaries. Today he added another 6 fours and 1 6 to the tally, and he scored very princely 126. Not in any type of bother throughout his innings, as he just was biting away at the Australian bowling. As I said, it's a wonderful knock under the circumstances because the pitch was very difficult to bat on, and I thought ABD Villiers played a fine hand, and he got good support from Vernon Philander as they added some 80 odd runs for the 8th wicket, and Vernon Philander definitely decided to just play second fiddle, and that was what was required. His contribution was 36 with 5 boundaries. Keshav Maharaj decided that he is not the one to really come there and bat in a very quiet manner, but on the other hand, he wanted to show that his batting could be also of great value, and he wanted to give some quick lead to the South Africans. So he decided to go for a bit of a slog, and that's what he precisely did. In fact, he hit 2 sixes. I thought one was of the bowling of Nathan Lyon, and he also hit Mitchell Marsh, I reckon, and that was good to see. So 2 sixes by Keshav Maharaj, and he made a very quick 30 with 3 fours and 2 sixes. And despite being nurtured by ABD Villiers, Keshav Maharaj continued to play his strokes, and in playing one of those strokes, Hazelwood hit the timber of Maharaj to get him to the pavilion. And Lungi Giri also gave some support, adding 5 runs before he tried to give the strike to ABD Villiers, and in the process got himself run out for 5 to leave ABD Villiers not out on a princely 126, his 22nd Test century, which contained 24s and 1 6. And South Africa, thanks to that innings from ABD Villiers, had a 139 runs lead as they were all out for 382. The bowling, Stark had 1 for 110, Hazelwood 2 for 98, 3 for 79 for Cummings, 1 for 58 to Lyon, and 2 for 26 to Mitchell Marsh. Now Australia were trailing by 139 runs. They started the reply, and let me tell you, Kagiso Rabada, Philander was just bowling wicket to wicket, but Kagiso Rabada was all fire and brimstone, especially when he was bowling to David Warner. He was really getting the message across to David Warner as Warner hit 13 runs. And Warner was the first wicket to fall. What a delivery from Rabada. A wonderful in-dipper, which David Warner missed. It went in through the bat and pad gap and shattered his stumps. And Kagiso Rabada would have done himself a lot of trouble, I suppose. Would have done himself a lot of harm, according to me, if you look at the ICC, because what he did was, after getting the wicket of David Warner, he went into the direction of David Warner, shouted in front of his face, and I'm sure the ICC match referees would have definitely taken that into notice. And I have a very strong feeling that Kagiso Rabada, who's already been pulled up, would probably not be a part of this test series for the remainder, and which is very sad, according to me. And I'm sure this is going to be the verdict, because the way Rabada did it, he ran into the direction of Warner and he yelled in front of him. And I don't think that is to be taken kindly, especially considering that Rabada has been under a lot of fire of late, and now I think he has done himself a great harm there. But nevertheless, David Warner was gone, but it was a good delivery. One has to definitely say the ball tailed in beautifully and defeated Warner's bat and pad and went on to hit the stumps. So David Warner was gone, bowled by a bat of 13 with 3 boundaries. That was wicket number 1. The Australian score read 27 for 1. Cameron Bancroft was steadying the innings in the company of Usman Khawaja. Usman Khawaja had to get his form back, so he decided to bide his time at the crease. As that was going on, Lungi Gedi clean bowled Cameron Bancroft for 24 with 2 boundaries. He made the score 62 for 2, and then Stephen Smith walked in, and Stephen Smith could not last long. After scoring 11 runs with 1 4 and 1 6, Keshav Maharaj got a ball that absolutely turned square and had Stephen Smith in a square-on position as the ball took the nick, and De Kock behind the stump settled for it. He was gone for 11, 77 for 3. The Aussies in real trouble at that stage. At the other end, Usman Khawaja was there, and then walked in Shaun Marsh. Shaun Marsh also could not do much. He was scouted by Quinton de Kock behind the stumps of the bowling of Rabada for 1 to leave these Aussies in a real tangle at 86 for 4. Usman Khawaja was slowly getting his form back, biding his time at the crease, but also at the same time playing some handsome strokes through the cover region, the offside, which is good at it. And he also dealt with the spinners very well, Keshav Maharaj, by sweeping and reverse sweeping him consistently. At the other end, Mitchell Marsh also joined, and then we saw a partnership where Usman Khawaja and Mitchell Marsh were doing what Elgar and Amla had done for South Africa. But I would say Usman Khawaja was still playing his strokes, and he got into some very good form in that partnership as the score started slowly going along and trying to clear the 139 runs lead that was taken. But it was pretty sad that at the stroke of stumps, as stumps were approaching with only 2 overs to go, Usman Khawaja had done all the great work of making 75 and getting back into form, was LBW bowled Rabada for 75 with 14 boundaries. Mitchell Marsh was still entrenched over there, and he had really shown some real watertight defense, and he dealt with the South African bowlers in a wonderful manner to carve out an unbeaten 39 with 3 4s and 1 6. Tim Payne was not out on 5. As stumps were drawn for the day, the Aussies score read 180 for 5. They were 41 runs ahead, and it would be South Africa would be hoping that with the new ball due, I'm sure the South Africans would hope to reduce this lead as much as possible and try to give them a modest target to chase, because on this particular pitch we have seen how Keshav Maharaj turned the ball, and one could really expect a tough time for the team that bat last, and that would be South Africa. As far as the bowling was concerned, Vernon Philander bowled very well, 14 overs, 5 minutes, none for 38. Kagiso Rabada was excellent, and he was a masterpiece. 16 overs, 7 minutes, 38 runs and 3 wickets, but definitely such a wonderful bowler. It's so sad that I'm sure he has got himself into some great trouble after shouting at Warner after getting his wicket. Maharaj 20 overs, 2 minutes, 1 for 70. Lungi Yedi 10 overs, 4 minutes, 1 for 21. And Markram bowled 3 overs, 1 minute, none for 3. So that's the match situation. The Aussies are 41 runs ahead going into the 4th day of the second test match against South Africa. And now let's look at the Nidahas trophy. We are talking about the 4th match of the Nidahas trophy, which is coming in Sri Lanka tomorrow, the T20 tri-series. India already have lost the first match to host Sri Lanka, but I can say for a fact that the table looks with all the 3 teams even with points for themselves, and I think it will be interesting to see. Let's look at the Indian team first, because the Indians are the ones who actually lost that game against Sri Lanka in the first match, and India would be definitely buoyed by the fact that they beat Bangladesh, and then they would have definitely looked at the videos of Sri Lanka getting beaten by Bangladesh as well. So let's have a look at India as to what they can conjure up from here. Well, for India, Shikhar Dhawan, I think, is someone who is in some great nick according to me. He's in some pink form right now, and he's really playing some real aggressive cricket, and that really can give a lot of leeway for Rohit Sharma, the Indian captain, to get into some form. And Shikhar Dhawan and Rohit Sharma, one can never be mistaken that they are the solid opening pairs for India, and a very successful one at that. And then they have a one-drop Suresh Raina coming in, a very good slogger of the ball at times. And then they have the reliable Manish Pandey. Rishabh Pant probably would be seeing this an opportunity. He has not really got amongst the runs as he has done in the Indian domestic league. Whether Rishabh Pant can really slog the Sri Lankan bowlers, that remains to be seen. And then Dinesh Karthik, another very good player and wicketkeeper batsman. Vijay Shankar has already proved himself, as you know, against Bangladesh, taking the man of the match. So that would give him lots of confidence. And also the way he talked after the post-match press conference, I thought Vijay Shankar was sounding very confident when he was speaking in front of the mic. And Washington Sundar, he has been doing a fantastic job according to me. The right-arm offie, not giving anything away to the batsman, and bowling superbly. And again, Shardul Thakur definitely improved upon his performance that he showed. And as you would know, Shardul Thakur had a very tough time against Sri Lanka, as he was blasted, especially by Kushal Perera, one of those Sri Lankan batsmen who is in some a wonderful form right now. I mean, he has been given the free license, according to me, by the coach Chandika Hatrasinghe, and he's really going hammer and tongs at the bowlers. And the bowling will be definitely Jaydev Unadkat will be combining with Shardul Thakur and Yuzvendra Chahal, the experienced spinner who has always been doing a fantastic job. Now, as far as the Sri Lankans are concerned, so India would definitely like to change the script that happened against Sri Lanka in the previous match. As far as Sri Lanka are concerned, well, to me, I can say, even though they lost the match against Bangladesh, I would say this Sri Lankan unit is looking pretty strong. Well, they have some news which probably would not be really welcome, and that is Dinesh Chandimal. Because of the very slow over rate, he has been fined by the ICC. He has been suspended. I wouldn't say suspended. He won't be playing for the 2 matches. So it says that the ICC has suspended him for 2 matches because of the bad over rate, as the number of overs to be bowled, as you all know. And I think Kushal Mendes is in some tremendous form right now. Gunatilaka Pereira is a smasher of the cricket ball, according to me, because the way he plays, I mean, you can only think about one man, and that is Sanath Jayasuriya. And Kushal Pereira is also the wicketkeeper batsman. So Tisra Pereira, the all-rounder, will be leading the side in the absence of Dinesh Chandimal, and that gives an opportunity to Dhananjay De Silva, who comes into the squad. And let me tell you, Dhananjay De Silva is also a very good batsman who likes to play his strokes. So I think he's a really a very good player, Dhananjay De Silva. So he slots in at Chandimal's spot. Upul Taranga, Dasun Shanaka, the all-rounders Dasun Shanaka, Tisra Pereira have been doing a very good job. Jeevan Mendes is also an all-rounder. And then the bowling will be in the hands of Dushmanta Chami, Ranuvan Pradeep, and the left-arm spinner Akila Dhananjaya. But definitely one is expecting some real fireworks to come out of this match as well, because it says that it could be a very good batting pitch. Well, so now let's have a look at some cricket news before I wind up this cricket show for today. Looking at the cricket news that I have, I already spoken about Dinesh Chandimal, who is out of this particular match against India. And other than that, I'm trying to see whether I can give you any other information as far as cricket news is concerned. Well, dear fans, I'm just waiting for that right now to see whether I can share any cricket news with you right now. But I can say one thing, that in the Pakistan Super League, a 22-year-old batsman by the name Hussain Talat, who has been doing a very good job. He hails from the same town as one of those very good hitters of the ball, Abdul Razak, the all-rounder, and he's just 22 years of age, and he says that he wants to make a big name in Pakistan. So basically he shows that he's a very determined cricketer. And also Pakistan had some good news here on the international cricket front, with West Indies agreeing to play 3 T20s in Pakistan. As you know, international cricket has been something which has been lacking in Pakistan for quite a long time because of the situation. But now West Indies have agreed to play three T20 matches on April 1, 2nd and April 4th. This is all going to be played in Karachi. And I can give you a live cricket update coming in from the Pakistan Super League as I am talking to you here. I can say that the Karachi Kings made 163 for 5, and Lahore Qalandars are doing very well right now after Anton Davsic scorched the scorched strokes of the Karachi Kings bowlers, as the Lahore Qalandars score right now in reply. They are doing perfectly well, 83 for 1, and we are in the 11th over. So not much to really get to go for a victory over the Lahore Qalandars. You know, Lahore Qalandars they are out of this particular PSL because they have not been doing a good job. Lahore Qalandars, as you know, has been represented by Brendan McCullum, who is the captain of the team. And well, dear fans, friends, subscribers, it has been a real pleasure talking to you on this cricket show, and always I take the opportunity here to thank you for the tremendous support that you have been giving me on this cricket show. Yes, keep your eyes fixed. I am planning to get into launch my own cricket website shortly. The news will be peeped out to you. The news will be leaked out to you shortly. Right now, under wraps right now, but it's coming, dear fans and subscribers. And then I will have my own cricket website from where I'll be broadcasting my cricket. Well, dear fans and subscribers, always a pleasure bringing you this daily cricket show of mine. It's time for me to sign off this on a Sunday. Thank you.